The lights had all been on when they left the house. Every single one. Just minutes later, they were all off.
Not one light, not two. 8 different lights throughout the property, all switched off at exactly the same time.
The couple were convinced somebody was inside, waiting, watching, perhaps preparing to attack.
But when they returned to rescue their puppy, what they found raised even more questions. Questions that remain unanswered more than a decade later.
Was there an intruder inside the house? Or was something else waiting for them that Christmas night?
Hello and welcome to This is a Ghost Story.
The podcast where we explore real-life encounters with the paranormal, the unexplained and the downright strange.
I'm Alison.
And I'm Kathryn.
And joining us as always is producer Andrew.
Hello everyone.
Tonight we're travelling all the way to South Africa for another listener story. Andrew, before we get started, how are things?
Yeah, very good, thanks. It's always exciting when we receive listener submissions because they're genuine experiences that people have taken the time to share with us.
Absolutely. We always say we don't know whether these stories are paranormal or not, but what matters is that something happened to the person telling it.
And with this one, it definitely had me imagining myself in that situation. It was so easy to picture it.
Especially with a puppy left inside.
Oh yeah, poor puppy.
Oh.
It's always worse when you can have a newspaper article that says 1,000 people die in horrific thing, and you go, oh, that's sad. But then you see like a poor puppy's stubbed its toe, and you're like, oh no. But puppies don't have toes, do they? So, but
yes,
yeah.
they do.
They have toes.
They have
The actual
toes,
toe
yeah.
beans.
Toes.
Toe beans, yeah.
Oh yeah, they are technically toes, aren't they? I guess. Anywho.
Okay then.
Yes, the animal does definitely change everything, anytime animals are involved.
We're there, rescue that puppy.
Yeah, most people would probably stay away if they thought there was an intruder in the house, but when your dog's inside, you are definitely going back.
Exactly.
And it's lovely that this story has come from another paranormal podcaster. It just shows that strange experiences really can happen to anyone.
Definitely, and we're really grateful to Shane for sharing such a personal experience with us.
So, let's hear what happened. Let's head to South Africa. Brace yourselves.
This is a ghost story.
Our story comes from Shane Campbell, who lives in South Africa and hosts the Creepy and Paranormal podcast. Around 10 to 12 years ago, Shane and his wife, his fiancée at the time, experienced something they still can't explain. It happened on a Christmas evening while they were house-sitting for a lady they knew. They weren't actually staying at the property. Instead, each morning they would visit, open the curtains, let some fresh air into the house and make sure everything was secure. Then, every evening, they would return to close the curtains, switch on the lights and lock everything up before heading home. It had become a simple routine, one they had followed many times before.
On this particular Christmas evening, they arrived shortly after dark. It was somewhere between 6:30 and 7 o'clock. A few months earlier, they'd welcomed a new puppy into their family. His name was Rascal. Naturally, they brought him along. Driving through the gate, they parked outside the garage before walking through the front door. As always, they locked it behind them. Everything appeared perfectly normal.
The house had beautiful wooden floors and they made their usual way through each room. Opening and closing curtains, checking windows, turning lights on where needed. Nothing seemed unusual. Eventually, they reached the kitchen before stepping outside through the back door. From there, they walked across the garden towards the garage area where their car was parked. Then, something happened.
As they reached the garage, they suddenly heard a noise. Turning around, they noticed that the kitchen light had gone out. The very same kitchen they had only just walked through moments earlier. It seemed odd. But what they saw next was even stranger.
Looking through the side gate towards the car, Shane noticed that the driver's door was standing open. The interior light was glowing. Instantly, their minds went to the worst possible conclusion. Someone had broken into the property. Perhaps they'd entered through another gate while Shane and his wife had been inside. Maybe they were hiding in the darkness, waiting, watching, preparing to attack them if they returned to the house.
Taking no chances, they slipped quietly through the side gate and hurried back to the car. Within seconds, they were speeding away from the property. As they drove, Shane's wife phoned the local security company. She also called her father, who lived nearby. Help was on the way. But then they realised something horrifying. Rascal, their puppy, was still inside the house.
Driving through the neighbourhood, they spotted a nearby house where a Christmas party was taking place. There were lots of people outside. The gates were open. It felt safe. Stopping the car, Shane told his wife to stay with the guests and explain what had happened. He was going back, on foot. He hoped that by approaching quietly, anyone inside hiding wouldn't hear him. His only priority was reaching Rascal.
Making his way back, Shane moved carefully between the large trees lining the pavement. From tree to tree he crept, watching, listening, looking for any sign of movement. Eventually he reached the gate. As he opened it, the motion sensor light suddenly burst into life. The unexpected brightness startled him, but he carried on, slowly making his way towards the side gate beside the lounge window. Then he heard it. Footsteps, fast, heavy, running through the house. Not creaks, not settling floorboards, actual footsteps.
Shane admitted that in that moment he was absolutely terrified. He spun around, only to discover several men standing behind him. Thankfully, they weren't intruders. They had come from the Christmas party. Concerned after hearing what had happened, they decided to come and help. Perhaps Christmas spirit, perhaps a little Dutch courage after a few festive drinks. Either way, Shane wasn't alone anymore.
Together, they entered the house. They switched the lights back on and searched every room. The security company soon arrived. Shane's father-in-law also joined them. The property was searched thoroughly. No one. No broken windows. No forced entry. Nothing. But one thing immediately stood out. Every light inside the house had been switched off. Not by a power cut. Not because the electricity had failed. The switches themselves had all been physically turned off. There were around 8 lights throughout the house. Every single one.
They checked the electrical distribution board. Nothing had tripped. Everything was working normally. If someone had switched those lights off, how had they done it so quickly? And where had they disappeared to? Then they heard another sound. Tiny claws scratching across the wooden floor. Rascal came happily running down the hallway, safe and unharmed. Their biggest worry was over, but the mystery had only grown.
The security officers searched the property again. Still nothing. No intruder. No explanation. Life eventually returned to normal. Until several weeks later. While in the child's bedroom, Shane noticed something beneath the bed. Drawn directly onto the floor was a pentagram. Whether it had been left by a previous occupant or meant something more sinister, nobody knows. But after everything that had happened that Christmas evening, it was enough to convince Shane and his wife that there may have been something paranormal within that house. And to this day, they still don't know what really happened.
This is a ghost story.
I think what makes this story so creepy and genuine, is you just think there's a burglar inside the house.
Yeah, I know, right? It almost starts like a crime drama rather than a ghost story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like, doesn't it? The car door that's open, the lights going out, the footsteps, all of it points towards someone being inside that house, doesn't it?
But no one's ever found.
And that's the really unsettling part.
Yeah, no, it is a real creepy story, isn't it? You're either looking potentially at something paranormal, or you've got some sort of ninja on your hands that's just, able to evade all sorts of detection, which is almost impossible. So let's have a look at some possible explanations then. So firstly, there's the intruder story. It's entirely possible that someone entered the property unnoticed and escaped before the search began, but realistically there are problems with that theory. The property was searched by Shane, several neighbours, the security company and his father-in-law. Nobody was found at all. No evidence of anyone. Secondly, there's the question of the lights. Electrical faults certainly can cause lights to go out. However, Shane specifically explained that the switches themselves had been physically turned off. The fuse board hadn't tripped. That makes a conventional electrical explanation much harder to accept. Then we have the footsteps. Many haunting reports from around the world describe unexplained running footsteps in empty buildings. They're among the most commonly reported paranormal experiences. Finally, there's the pentagram. There's your nightmare fuel right there. Now, it's important to point out that pentagrams aren't automatically associated with evil. Historically, they've been used by many different religions and spiritual traditions as symbols of protection, balance, and spirituality. Of course, though, discovering one beneath a child's bed after everything they've experienced, that's always going to leave a lasting impression, really, isn't it? Could all these events have perfectly no ordinary explanations? Possibly, but when you combine the lights, the footsteps, the missing intruder, and the later discovery beneath the bed, it's easy to understand why Shane believes there was something paranormal inside that house. So, ladies, this is a very interesting story from Shane, and of course, we're all thankful they got Rascal back.
Thank goodness.
I know, right?
Oh, gosh, the tension.
As you're reading that story, I'm like, Rascal, yay!
Yeah, bless him. Little puppy.
Little trotty toes.
I know. I mean, especially the part when we find out about the pentagram. I mean, that just gives you the bulk. So, I would not feel happy about that. And to be honest, for me, that instantly makes me think paranormal. I can't help it. It just, for me, that kind of cemented that.
Alison, do you think that this could be an intruder?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it's paranormal. Like you say, the neighbours, Shane himself, father-in-law, the security guard, they all searched the house. Not a single sign of a person.
No evidence.
No.
No evidence of a person, exactly.
This did just affect the inside of the house, did it, Kathryn? Obviously, the car itself had the door open.
Ooh. See, that's the part that makes you think it is a real person because, it's like someone's been in the car looking for valuables. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, now they're in the house looking for you.
Oh, gosh.
I guess as well, the timing of the light
Nightmare.
switches going off, from where they've been walking round and out. When
like
you kind
something like was following them, like literally,
Well, no, it seems more that kind of as soon as they got out, suddenly all the lights are off and you're like, that's got to have been done like really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Literally running through the house, switching them off. If it was a person, they'd have to be pretty quick, wouldn't they? Or have one person in each room switching those switches. So
yeah, physically switching them to the off position as well.
Do you think something was trying to get their attention, Alison? Do you think there's somebody trying to get their attention? Because why would you be flicking all the lights off when they've been put on?
Save money.
We got an eco warrior ghost.
Yeah, he's like, turn that off, you wait here.
Or they just want the, whatever it is, wants the reaction, the creep factor, I'll show these folks.
Yeah, turn my lights on, will you? I don't think so.
Seen the cost of energy these days, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's trying to help you with your bills, but it's an amazing story, really.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
The owners of the property have they? Do we know if they've ever experienced anything at all?
That'd be nice
Do you know
to
what?
find out, wouldn't it?
I'm not too sure. We'll have to speak to Shane. We'll have to follow up because he just said that he was doing some house sitting. It does seem like it was a substantial period of time. But then saying that, obviously they discovered the pentagram several weeks later, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were house sitting at that point. Maybe they were just there. when the people were back, because it sounds like they might have gone away for Christmas. So yeah, no, that would be interesting actually, because I guess when you see a pentagram under the kind of child's bed,
A child's bed.
yeah, you're thinking to yourself,
jeez.
it must be the person that owns the house, maybe, or
Or the
you'd think they
prior
know it's
owners.
there.
or maybe Shane doesn't know everything about the people that owns
Maybe,
this house. You know, it could be one of these where they're friends or friends of friends. We are going to have to ask Shane some more questions. I think we are. There's more
Yeah.
questions than
Yep,
answers at
yep.
the minute, especially with the pentagram. Now, don't get me wrong. It could just be that pentagram was a nice design. It was on the floor already and they just left it there. It could be one of those.
Or maybe they were
situations.
completely unfamiliar. Like they just didn't, they weren't fussed by it. They didn't know any background on, what they relate to.
Or the child drew it.
Da-da-da.
Or even plot twist, rascal.
No.
No.
Not the doggy.
No.
Dogs don't get involved
obviously we
with
are-
stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously we're having a little joke here, but
Yeah, in all seriousness.
in all seriousness, it is a kind of an unsettling experience.
Yeah.
They
Poor
think
Shane
there's an
and his
intruder
wife.
in the house. They think their dog's there. The dog could be getting kidnapped as well. It's a very, very unsettling experience.
Especially
it really is.
When you're tasked with looking after someone else's house, oh
Yeah.
my god.
you feel like you
Yeah.
failed a little bit, don't you?
yeah, exactly. It's all on you. The pressure.
So yeah, we do need to pick up with Shane, because I wonder if when he was kind of maybe telling them about that, if he told them, because you never know, he might not have, they might have gone, oh yeah, that happens a lot maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe didn't tell them because he didn't want to scare them.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what do you think? Was someone hiding inside the house?
Were those footsteps made by a real intruder or by something that couldn't be seen?
As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've experienced something strange, paranormal, or completely unexplained, then get in touch through our social media channels or email us. Our email address will be at the end of the episode, so do listen out for that. And your story could feature in a future episode of This Is a Ghost Story. And before we go, we'd like to say another huge thank you to Shane Campbell from South Africa and his Creepy and Paranormal podcast for allowing us to share this incredible experience. If you enjoy hearing real paranormal encounters, do go and check out Shane's podcast too.
This is a ghost story.
Next time on This Is a Ghost Story, she believes she'd had the gift of sight since childhood.
Years later, after moving to a quiet home in Arizona, she decided to unwind with a peaceful candlelit bath.
What happened next would change the course of her life forever,
Was it a vivid vision?
A waking nightmare.
or something that had been waiting for her all along.
Join us for our next chilling episode as we hear Laurie's chilling true account. Episode 14, The Spirit in the Bath.
Until next time.
Stay safe.
And keep looking into the unknown.
Thank you for listening to another episode of This Is a Ghost Story.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. We are absolutely everywhere now. We are now on YouTube. So just search This Is a Ghost Story, all one word, to find us on there.
So we are on Twitter or X at A Ghost Story Pod.
We're on Facebook. This is a Ghost Story.
And Instagram, This Is a Ghost Story, all one word.
Or you can find us on TikTok at this.is.a.ghost.story.
Please leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And remember, if you have a paranormal experience that you would like us to read on the show,
please email us at thisisaghoststory@icloud.com.
we'll see you next time.
This is a ghost story.
Definitely. And we're really grateful to Shane for sharing.
Oh.